I want you to draw T for purchases, and then I want us to do a T for the trading account. Now when we do the trading account, I want to put it so you have more space. When you do the trading account, it's got a specific format that will not change. Okay? So the trading account in the periodic system will always be, please stop talking. Oh, sorry. Will always be opening stock, purchases. In other words, we're going to close that one here. Carriage on purchases, customs. The other word for customs is import duties or import tax. It's the same thing. Profit and loss. And the credit side will always be sales. And what do I remember? What do I subtract from sales when I do the income statement? Debtors allowed. So this would be the same principle here, ne? And closing stock. Now, this thing does not have a balance. So please, there's no balance COBD. And what I need you to understand, if I look here, also very important, this opening, purchase, carriage, customs, closing is for me to calculate in the end my cost of sales. This is calculating cost of sales. Okay, so if I didn't ask you to do the trading account, but I ask you in the periodic system, please do for me, calculate for me cost of sales, it would be opening, purchases, carriage, customs, less closing. So let's look. In this example, first thing they give me is they tell me balances, meaning these transactions have already been recorded because it's a trial balance. Okay, so there I see trading stock. Now in the periodic system, you must remember, if they give you trading stock, a balance, it's always the opening count or the closing count. Okay. It's not trading stock like in perpetual where we do a whole T account. Trading stock is basically them referring to, oh, when I started the year I had so much stock counted. When I end the year I counted so much stock. Okay, can you see last year's closing is this year's opening. So now they tell me here, trading stock 1st January. Now this is a little note. You won't find the note in normal exercises. It's just because it's an example. It says here, last year's closing becomes this year's opening. It's a little note for you. And can you see it's 10,000? So now I know my opening stock is 10,000. That's the stock I didn't sell last year. If I look further, there's my sales. 203. So sales so far is 203. Purchases, that 108 will be my opening balance. So I know the next question is going to be dates, and the dates for these things is literally all going to be the closing date. In other words, in this case, 31st December. So I say 31st December, 31st December, 31st December, and you like, but you can't bring down a balance on the 31st. Oh, that's a lie. You can. Because all the transactions have been done, and when is this information given to us? 31st December, and then there's additional info that isn't in yet. So I'm doing everything on the 31st. Okay. So now they say, next one. Debtors allowance, 3,000. I know that will make my sales less. Carriage on purchases, 1,005. Now in periodic, I'm supposed to do a T account for carriage on purchases, and it will have a balance of 1,500. And I see there's customs also, and I'm supposed to have a T for customs, and it will also have a balance of 12. But I can tell you in the tests, 9.5.7 times, they will only ask you the trading account. So then you're going to show carriage on purchases as a little calculation. Okay. So then you would actually say there, 1,005, 12,000. And then do the plus minus thing in a bracket. Okay, but I'm going to do the T for you that you can see how it works. So let's go. So everything's in from the trial balance, so let's go to the additional. So now they say, a donation of 500 to welfare was not recorded. So a donation makes my stock less. Where do I show my stock? Not trading stock, because trading stock is only physical counting. If I look at these T accounts, which one is the one where I show the stock that I bought? Purchases. Can you see where we used to do this as a verb? It is now a T. Ne? So purchases, is purchases getting more or less?
Yes.
Less. So on the credit side, I say donations. And once again, the same principles go. Is this the selling price or the cost price? It's always the cost price. Your donations and your drawings, anything that makes your stock less, is cost price. So everything inside purchases is cost price. You guys sharp? Okay. Now, next one. A physical stock take. So the moment I see there was a physical stock take, I am talking opening or closing. You see? So when am I doing this stock take? 31st December. So is this opening or closing? Closing. So my closing stock is going to be 15,000. You see? So they're going to give you two stocks. They're going to say physical stock take. Then I know it's either opening or closing. They're going to say trading stock. You know it's either opening or closing. So obviously the most logical way for them to do this is they give you trading stock as the opening and closing stock as the additional info. But you'll read. Okay? So just remember that. Opening and closing stock you'll find in trading stock. Okay. Now, Jaspo stores still needs to pay, we are Jaspo, ne? Still needs to pay an account of 16.5. For what? It's received from Jippo Transport for delivering goods to the store. Now remember, which one are we interested in? If we want to calculate cost of sales, carriage on purchases or carriage on sales? Purchases, ne? Because we are busy with purchases. So now I'm asking you, if they deliver to our store, is it carriage on purchases or carriage on sales?
Purchases.
Purchases. So my carriage on purchases is going to become more with 16.5, and they say I still owe him. Now remember, when I acquire things, either buy physical stuff or get a service, I can do it one of two ways, cash or credit. So my contra would be either bank or creditors control. What will it be here?
Creditors control.
Why? We still owe them, so this is going to be creditors control. Okay. Next one, they say goods returned to supplier. Now remember, it's a two-way street. Now I'm asking you, Emmanuel, if goods are returned to me, is it going to make sales or purchases less? If a client returns goods to me, Elizabeth, is it going to make my sales less or my purchases less? Sales, it's debtors allowance. But if I return goods to the supplier, will it make sales or purchases less?
Purchases.
Can you see sales and purchases is next to each other? They are total opposites. You see? Okay, so now my purchases are going to get less because I return goods to my creditor, my supplier, 8,000. Anybody with a problem? You guys still shop? And now the only thing I need to do is now I need to close off. So I'm going to close off. Remember, what do I need? Here I need purchases. So I'm going to close off purchases. So I will say trading account and 108, 500 less 500 less 8 gives me 100. And that 100 goes there. If I only ask you in the exam the trading account, please guys draw a little purchases T because there's always transactions there. Because can you see? 1, 2, 3, 4. And if this amount here is wrong and you didn't show me how you got to it, 0. Okay? Next one I want is the carriage on purchases. So the carriage on purchases, I'm going to close off to the trading account. What's going to be the dates everywhere? December 31st. Okay? So I add those two, it gives me 18. Am I wrong? Am I right? Yay, I'm right. Okay, so that 18 goes here. Customs, I do the same. Trading account, 12. 12 goes here. So now, what is my sales? 200,000 plus 15 gives me 215. Can you see no balance? I am balancing, but there's no balance COBD. Okay, so what's my profit or loss? 215 less 75. 75. Okay, that's my profit and loss. So can you see why all this stuff cannot be assets? Because I need to close it off. And now I want to quickly show you this. I know I'm talking fast now because I'm recording. I just want to make sure. I'm going to pause it for 3 seconds and then I want to show you something. For you, please listen. Don't lose concentration. This is now the process. Let me just make it smaller. This is the process of periodic. I just want to also show you the process you are used to, the perpetual one. Eh? So perpetual, I will literally have a T for the trading stock, né? And a T for the trading account. And the trading account would be sales, cost of sales, profit and loss. Okay. So, yes. In the exam, all the questions is perpetual except the inventory question. They will tell you which one do they want you to show. But they can ask you periodic as an income statement, because the only thing there that you need to do then is calculate the cost of sales periodically, because all the other stuff are the same. There's only two things that's not going to happen in the income statement. The cost of sales you're going to have to calculate, and there won't be a trading stock deficit or surplus. You have to be able to. So if I look at this information, please listen. My trading stock, my opening balance would be 10,000. Right? Purchases. I will not know purchases. Ne? I don't know if it's cash or credit. So I will just say bank or creditors control. In this case, they didn't give me any info. Would be that 108,500. Sales, 203,000. Debtors allowance, 3,000. Carriage on purchases, it's also in my trading stock. So it would be bank or creditors control. But remember now, things are going to happen here, ne? I forgot, there's things happening here. So this 108,500, I'm just going to write it here because there's calculations. Sorry, I forgot about the calculations. It's only the customs that didn't have additional information. But can you see what I'm doing is I'm doing all the information inside trading stock. Whereas with periodic, I did all the information separate. Okay? Now, if I read, they say there was a donation. So my trading stock was getting less. There was a physical stock take. And you see they give me the closing balance, which would be next year's opening balance. Okay? There is a account for transport, which I will add. Ne? I will add 16,500. Ne? This customs, I won't write customs. I would actually also write bank or creditors. Can you see in the end, all of those amounts would be one amount, classified if I paid it cash or credit. Goods returned, 8,000. Okay? So, now my purchases would be 100,500. My carriage would be 18. Can you see? My format is different. But what must I now also remember? Cost of sales. How will I do cost of sales? Cost of sales, they would have to give me a markup that I can calculate the cost of sales of that 203 and the cost of sales for the 3,000. Can you see that? You guys got me? Okay, let me go again. Remember, trading stock also shows cost of sales. So my cost of sales, if they wanted me to do the periodic system, they should have given me a markup, where they say the markup is 20% on cost. And that means that that sales, cost of sales, will make the stock less, and the return of stock will make the stock more. And you would have to calculate that. Can you see how the two systems differ? You sharp? Okay. I will put this back up. Don't cry. If I go to this cost of sales, can you calculate this cost of sales? How will you calculate it? 10 plus 100 plus 80 plus 12 minus 15. You see? And that gives me what? 10 plus 100 plus 80 plus 12 less 15 gives me 102.
No, 125.
Okay, and that, if I go to this trading account, my sales is still 200. Now I know my cost of sales is 125. Would I have calculated it like this? No, I would have taken it from the T account, cost of sales. Ne? I would have closed that off. You see the difference? This side I would have trading stock CRJ, trading stock DJ, trading stock DAJ. I will calculate the trading account, close it off there, ne? Cost of sales to trading account, and my profit and loss would still be exactly the same. Are you guys fine with what I just did? Let's